Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today's topic's going to be a little bit heavy. This isn't a video I ever thought I'd actually make. Abortion's just one of those topics that's not often worth debating because everybody already has their mind made up. Plus, it's a pain in the ass to keep reminding women they have tons of choices before they ever have a baby vacuumed out. We have to hear a lot of bullshit about reproductive freedom and my body, my choice. Oddly enough, they never make choices in their reproductive freedom until after they're knocked up. Apparently nobody's told them about the pill, injections, condoms, or anything else that'll keep that bundle of cells out of their uterus. In case you haven't guessed it yet, I am pro-life. For the most part, I understand abortion is a part of our country and it probably will never go away. But if we're going to have it, it needs to be limited. It needs to be a last resort. And unfortunately, we're moving in the wrong direction. On January 22nd, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed what is called the Reproduction Health Act in New York, to much fanfare.
Okay, good evening. It is a good evening this evening. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Now, with that kind of announcement, you might have thought they solved the homeless problem or developed a good way to get clean energy. Nope, he's talking about killing kids. And before any pro-choice asshole jumps in there and goes, "Stop calling it killing kids, it's just a bundle of cells," or any other stupid shit, let's be honest about what we're talking about here. This is what the New York bill says. A healthcare practitioner licensed, certified, or authorized under Title VIII of the Education Law, acting within his or her lawful scope of practice, may perform an abortion when, according to the practitioner's reasonable and good faith professional judgment based on the facts of the patient's case, the patient is within 24 weeks from the commencement of pregnancy, or there's an absence of fetal viability, or the abortion is necessary to protect the patient's life or health. Basically, this removes the limits on abortions after 24 weeks, leaving it up to a single doctor to decide whether or not to abort a baby at 40 weeks because the patient's health might be at risk. And what kind of health condition would make it okay to kill a baby at 40 weeks? Well, we don't get to ask. Remember, this is her body, her choice. It's left up to a single doctor to make that decision. And this disgusting piece of shit cheered this. Not only did he have a room full of assholes clapping and yelling for him, this motherfucker actually lit up monuments in pink as though it was some kind of win. Even if you support abortion, can't we all agree that it's not something to be cheered for? That it's not something to be celebrated as though your team just won the fucking Super Bowl? At the end of the day, you're still talking about somebody who made a bad choice and has to make a worse one. And as you might expect, the abortion advocates have come out to tell us why this is so necessary. Just one from Twitter.
I've done abortions after 24 weeks. For several years, I lived in a state with no gestational age limit. I've never done one that was not medically indicated. I was never approached by any woman to do a non-medically indicated abortion.
Well, there you go, folks. It'll never happen because it's never happened to her. No need to worry, nothing to see here. Just because they've made it where abortion can happen at any time for any fucking reason, it's not going to because of her personal experience. If you think I'm being hyperbolic about what can happen here, take a look at this argument from the Virginia Assembly about HB 2491, a bill very similar to what just passed in New York.
So how late in the third trimester would you be able to do that?
You know, it's very unfortunate that our physicians, witnesses, were not able to attend today to speak specifically.
No, I'm talking about your bill. How late in the third trimester could a physician perform an abortion if he indicated it would impair the mental health of the woman?
Or physical health.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about the mental health.
So, I mean, through the third trimester. The third trimester goes all the way up to 40 weeks.
Okay. But to the end of the third trimester.
Yep. I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
So, where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth, she has physical signs that she is about to give a birth, would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would
I understand
make at
that. I'm
that
asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
What the absolute fuck? You can have an abortion all the way up to 40 weeks, up to dilation, over mental health. I don't care if somebody says, well, that'll never happen. Okay, if it'll never happen, why can't we put that fucking restriction in? All of these bills are doing exactly what they're designed to. They're designed to make it okay to have an abortion literally up to the birth of the child. Let's be honest. If it's viable and the only reason you're having an abortion is for mental health issues, that's not abortion. That's flat out murder. Some of you might not like that, but if the only difference between abortion and murder is an hour and some pushing, it's still fucking murder. If this is something we don't need to worry about happening, then put those fucking restrictions in the law. But that's something abortion advocates never want to do. They never want to put restrictions in. They'll cry all day about some pro-lifer who won't make exceptions for incest and rape, but they'll never make that the standard for getting an abortion. That's why we absolutely need to have abortion. What about rape? What about incest? Well, what about putting that into the fucking law? The health of the mother? Fine. Have other doctors review the case after the abortion. And if it turns out that it wasn't medically necessary, that doctor loses their ability to practice. And instead of doing that, they're going the polar opposite. They're making it so you can have abortion whenever, for whatever fucking reason you want. That is not progress.
According to the Guttmacher Institute, a research organization that supports abortion access, half of pregnancies in the U.S. are accidental, and half of the accidental pregnancies end in abortion. 1 in 4 women will have an abortion in her lifetime.
We're not talking about cancer or heart disease or getting hit by a fucking car, you degenerate. It's not an inevitability that women will have an abortion. The rates of abortion in this country have been dropping since 1990, when 1.4 million babies were vacuumed out. In 2015, the last year we have data for, the number of abortions was down to 638,000. That's still fucking outrageous, but it's been cut by more than half. That's a good thing. We shouldn't be encouraging more. One of my biggest problems with abortion is that it should be obsolete. We know what causes pregnancy, and we have a ton of ways to stop it before you ever open your legs. If we're still having a problem where half of all pregnancies are accidental, we need to be educating people on how to keep it from happening, rather than encouraging them to abort a baby all the way up to fucking dilation. There's a lot of problems with abortion. There's the inequality. If a man gets a woman pregnant and he doesn't want that child, he's told he shouldn't have opened his zipper. Don't you dare tell a woman she shouldn't have opened her fucking legs. That would be sexist and misogynistic. It's her body and her choice, goddammit. Men have to be responsible for their actions. Women, not so much. And then there's the racial aspect. I'm not going to get into whether Planned Parenthood and its founder were racist. I'll let other people argue that. What can't be argued is how overrepresented blacks are when it comes to abortion. Despite making up only 12% of the population, blacks accounted for 36% of the abortions in 2015. Does that mean abortion and the people who support it are racist? Not necessarily. But it does point to a huge problem in the black community that nobody seems to want to solve. Rather than saying we need more sexual education in the black community, people are just reaching for the Dyson. And then there's the most obvious. We're talking about a baby. But we can't be honest about that. If we're honest about it, people realize we're talking about children. So we have to call it a bundle of cells, or we have to call it a fetus. Nobody ever finds out their friend is pregnant and goes, "What sex do you hope that fetus is?" Nobody says, "Do you think that bundle of cells will be twins?" The only time we get that fucking retarded when talking about a baby is when we're talking about killing it. And even with all of that, I don't generally get in this discussion. But here I felt I had to. We are getting to the point where we're not even talking about a bundle of cells or a fetus anymore. We are talking about actually killing children. Nothing wrong with the child. Very vague health of the mother bullshit. And using that to kill a fucking child. At the time of dilation, for fuck's sake. When literally the baby could be born within an hour. But it's her body, her choice. What the fuck are we doing as a society? Seriously. Somebody help me here. How do we get to the point where we're actually saying, you know what? That mom might have a little stress, and that's okay to kill this child just before it's born. What in the ever-loving fuck is going on? And then you have people cheering for this shit. Telling us it's never going to happen. Don't you worry about those weird cases that you're making up in your head. We're not going to pass laws against it, but don't worry, it's never going to happen. We're going to light up a building in pink to celebrate the fact that we've just allowed this to fucking happen. But don't worry, it won't. How the fuck is this progress? How is this a good thing? This should be something we're deeply ashamed of. Even in its current form around most of the country, where there are limits on it, it shouldn't be something to be celebrated. It's not a fucking rite of passage. It's not a statement of empowerment. Yes, there's times when there's medical problems that might make it necessary. I get that. But we're not going to put that into law. We're not going to put those restrictions in there. Because if we do, we might upset women. And damn it, women shouldn't have to have responsibility. No, their body, their choice. That bundle of cells, fuck that. Telling her to keep her legs closed? Don't you dare. Just because she has more access to ways to stop a pregnancy than men do, don't think she should be responsible for what happens when she has sex. And now you're going to take that lack of responsibility all the way up to birth. And you're going to tell me, don't worry, it's not going to happen. Then put those fucking restrictions in. But the simple truth is, a lot of abortion advocates, they don't want any restrictions. They want women to be able to have abortions at any time, for any reason. And it's starting to happen. And that's fucking disgusting. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this one. If you'd like more monkey in your life, you can check me out on social media, you can check out some of the streams I'm on, or you can pick up some nice monkey merchandise. All of the links are below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, good evening. It is a good evening this evening. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Your life makes me... Go fuck yourself.
Fuzzy Monkey's awesome!